welcome. My name is Jules Purnell. My pronouns are they, them, and I'm an intimacy coach living in Western Massachusetts. I wanted to create this quick video in case somebody's like, what's an intimacy coach? This sounds great, but what is it? How is the work done? And what are some things that somebody might want to see an intimacy coach for? What are some of the goals that we might work on together? The succinct answer is that every client is unique, every case is unique. And so the goals that somebody is going to want to work on are going to differ from person to person. So our work together might start with just establishing some goals. If you're finding that you're not connecting to your sexual self or with a partner in the way that you'd like to, that might be the starting place, but then what's the work that we need to do to get you to where you'd ultimately like to be? So, some common goals that people might want to work on include things like overcoming insecurities. Maybe there's something about your body or the way that you show up as a sexual being that you're interested in exploring more, in terms of experiencing some kind of insecurity or a feeling of not enoughness, which almost everybody experiences from time to time. So, that's a very common reason why somebody might want to work with, for example, a surrogate partner therapist or what's sometimes called a sex surrogate. Intimacy coaching is a really similar practice in a lot of ways. It might or might not involve hands-on touch. It might or might not involve, for example, just some very back to basics kind of sexuality education work. So that might be the kind of modality that's used, for example, to help somebody work through some of their insecurities. I really like for people to be able to feel at home in their bodies when they're doing this work. So if that's something that presents a challenge for you, that might be one of the goals too, is just how to get into your body, how to feel connected to your body, how to feel at home there, because it is your home. It's the home that you live in all day, every day, no matter where you go and what you do. The one thing that connects every person on this planet is that we are in a body. We live in a body. For some people, it might be more a matter of gaining access to different communication skills to improve intimacy. For some people that I've worked with, they had a really hard time communicating their boundaries. They had a really hard time expressing when they didn't feel an enthusiastic yes in their body. They had a difficult time expressing that no. So, figuring out how to express that no is something that work with an intimacy professional can definitely help with. And also being able to request what you want more of, being able to get to that enthusiastic yes and say, the thing that I'm really wanting is this thing. Can you help me figure out how to express that desire? Absolutely. That's something that an intimacy coach can help you work with. And ultimately, I think that all of these things can help us increase our access to pleasure. And that's something that's very much a part of my practice is connection to pleasure and how important pleasure is. It's something that we often sideline. We think we don't have time for it. We think it's not as important as, for example, paying our bills or doing the other things that are the sort of must-do tasks of our day-to-day life. But I think that unfortunately, when pleasure is sidelined or it's not seen as important, we do a really great disservice to ourselves. So I wanted to offer that as an opportunity of something that you might want to explore, that I hope everybody explores in their day-to-day lives. And then finally, I think this is part and parcel to everything, right? Like I think that this final piece connects to everything, and that's reducing this experience of shame or stigma. There's a lot of preoccupation, I think, that's been placed on all of us with whether what we want sexually is good or right or valid, or whether it's something we should be ashamed of. And that can block us so deeply in terms of being able to be authentic with ourselves, with our partners, even in just our own solo sex practices, right? Like before even communicating it to someone else, how do I feel about what I'm into, what I'm wanting? So this is all stuff that people might come to an intimacy coach to work through, to be able to communicate about, and hopefully just get some better tools to be able to show up authentically, to be able to live a life filled with more pleasure and connection, because I believe that's at the root of all of the work that I do. For me, as an intimacy coach, what feels really important to me is seeing substantial growth in my clients, being able to see them live authentically, experience pleasure, experience joyfulness in their own bodies. So that's something that I would love to offer. And if any of this appeals to you, then please reach out to me and let's schedule some time to talk, have a consultation meeting, and see if intimacy coaching is something that would work well for you.